Welcome to Around the ECHL, brought to you by our friends True by Hilton, a brand new partner of Allen Americans Hockey this year. Tommy Daniels, alongside my broadcast partner of 10 years, Maurice Fitzgerald, and no relation to Ella. How you doing on this chilly Tuesday in Texas?
Doing good, and I like the chilliness. It feels good. I mean, it's not really that cold, but it definitely is starting to feel like hockey weather, and that's a really good thing because hockey's right around the corner.
Yeah, perfect night for my heater to go out last night, which was great. No furnace, no heat whatsoever. So I felt like I was sleeping outdoors in Buffalo, but that's okay.
I was going to say, you're a Buffalo boy. You should feel like you're at home.
Yeah, you're right. I should, but they say the blood thins when you move. So I've been here for a bit, and I'll just blame it on that. But as we speak on this Tuesday, Maurice, day one of training camp. The boys have been skating for a couple days, but today is the official first day of camp. When you think back about teams in the past, and obviously being broadcasters for this team, you for the last 10, me for the last 12, what does first day of training camp mean to you?
That we're one step closer to hockey, and that's the best thing, especially this year with the big layoff we've had. It's just great to see the boys back out on the ice, pucks being shot, skates are out there. They're skating out there hard and getting ready for the campaign to get started. And hopefully we'll get everything going nice and smooth here in a few weeks, and we'll get hockey back in business.
Yeah, more than ever this year, it's going to be a challenge. We know, what's going on with the virus, not just in the U.S., but all over the world. And obviously we've seen spiking here in Texas of recent times. You look at what the NFL is going through right now with all these teams having to postpone games. They had to postpone the game that was supposed to be played tonight between Baltimore and Pittsburgh. They move it now to Wednesday afternoon. So it's definitely going to be a challenge this year, one like we've never seen in hockey.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if leagues didn't kind of adjust their rules for this season because this is such a unique, situation. I wouldn't be shocked to see as the season progresses, maybe there are some adjustments to roster size, things like that, because look at all the quarterbacks that just were out for Denver, right?
Yeah.
You go down three quarterbacks. It's like, how are you going to play? You're going to pull in a free safety or somebody like that to quarterback because he had some experience. Well, what's going to happen if you lose a couple of goalies? You're
Right.
going to be bringing in guys off the beer leagues, or, would you be able to get someone else in? I mean, e-bugs are going to be in high demand in that situation.
Yeah, you're right. And I mean, if ever there was a year you might want to expand those rosters just to have extra bodies, just because you never know. There was a junior team just about a month ago that was supposed to play a weekend series, and their games were canceled because 15 players on that team, not mentioning any names, wound up with COVID. So you never know. And you got to be prepared. Maybe some nights you play with the limit and you get out there and you do it. And so I don't think any of us know what we're in for here completely. But, as you mentioned earlier, it's exciting that we are going to get things going here shortly. Obviously, the boys on the ice today for the first time at training camp. Exciting. We've got folks from ECHL TV in town to talk to a couple of the players, Spencer Asachuk and Jared Van Warmer, as well as Steve Martinson. So yes, the feel is definitely in the air. In Mo, you think about the guys that have come back to Allen this year. Dyson Stevenson, who, one of the toughest players that's ever played in Allen. Maybe not the biggest, but boy, he sure plays very tough for his size. And, Alex Lavoie, who started his career here in Allen, won the Rookie of the Year, has gone off and played in Europe. Alex coming back. Real excitement to the season to see how these guys, have changed over the last few years, especially Alex, who we haven't seen in quite a while. Those names like that definitely makes me, excited to get to December the 14th, December 12th for the first road game, and then the 18th and 19th here at the event center for home opening weekend. I know a lot of people have been messaging me and saying, wow, more than ever this year, I want to see hockey. Well, guess what? We're only weeks away.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And it's going to be great to see Alex back, see how his game has matured, how his play has changed from what it was when we first saw him when he was rookie of the year. And of course, having a guy like Dyson Stevenson is just a big, huge, injection of enthusiasm and leadership in this team. He's a great player. And like you said, he's not necessarily the biggest guy out there, but he plays like he's 10 feet tall, and he's always given 110% every shift, and he's always going to stick up for his teammates, and he leads by example. And that's one of the things that I love about Dyson Stevenson. He's just a really tough competitor and never takes a shift off. And that's what Marty loves. Marty loves that type of player. And that's what has given him the success he's had throughout his career. And that's why we've seen that success here in Allen.
The one guy I'm very excited to see play as well is, welcome back another goalie, CJ Mott. And, he is really focused. He is so happy to be back here. Had a chance to talk to him before they went into quarantine. And, he wants to come back and he wants to win. He believes that we have a great team here. After his European experiment, and, he was happy to be back in the United States and happy to come back to Allen. He wants to have a big year. We know he's a very, very intense goaltender. He wants to win in the worst way. He's got that fire in his eyes all the time, and I'm excited to see what he can do here a second time through in Allen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be great seeing between the pipes, and with Riley Gill night here on the 19th, it's going to be even more fun to see how that fires him up, because he's got that intense competitiveness, as you said, just like Riley Gill was. This is my crease, this is my home, and you ain't going to score on me that easy. So it's going to be great to see him play this year for Allen. And I think we're going to be in a really good situation, because building from the net out, starting off with CJ Mott, that's just a great start for Allen.
Yeah, and also too, it was great to see, you saw the press release, I'm sure, on Sunday afternoon, the return of Matt Register and Tyler Sheehy, a couple of American Hockey League guys that were assigned here by Minnesota via Iowa. We know about Sheehy, and we know what he did last year. And coincidentally, both rookies of the year are on the same roster now, which is great. Sheehy and Lavoie. And we know about Matt Register. He is one gifted player. And how many times is this back for him now? He was back here. He was here as a rookie, back under Mullins and Bill McDonald. As a matter of fact, Bill McDonald credited for finding Matt Register. Then he came back, as part of a playoff team here, left and went to Colorado, won a championship there. He's just one of those guys that very, very talented offensively. And obviously he's gotten some time in the American Hockey League the last few years. The one thing we know for sure, Mo, he's going to make this power play really good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's great quarterback in the power play. He's got a great shot, and he just has really good offensive sense. And when you look at the offensive guns that Marty's brought in already, that's just another feather in the cap for Allen, because this power play is going to be really, really strong. Just have to see if they execute. And one thing we always pick on them for is not shooting enough. So hopefully that's one thing that we'll be doing a lot of on the power play this year, is shooting.
Yeah. And Steve Martinson teams are always, what you're going to get. You're going to have a lot of penalty minutes. Last year was an exception to the rule, but with some toughness back here in the lineup this year, I would expect those penalty minutes to go up, just because. But you're going to have a really good power play. But you've also got some guys, on this team that are very sound defensively. So if you can put together a top 5 team, special teams in both power play and penalty kill, looking at this lineup we have right here, and if CJ Mott plays like I think he's going to play this year, this could be a really, really fun year. However, when you look at this, with there being so few teams, a lot of teams are loading up. So it's almost going to be like an all-star league where every single night, it's going to be a challenge to win. It's going to be who makes the fewest mistakes, which team, has the hot stick that night. So more than ever this year, it's going to be a challenge.
Well, it's going to be a great product on the ice for the fans when you think about the caliber of player that we're going to see throughout the league, because there's going to be a lot of players available to these teams. So we should have much higher quality hockey this year. Not that the quality of hockey is ever bad, but it's just going to be even better, because there's going to be better players that are going to be filling out these rosters. And I think we're going to, like I said, have a greater quality of product on the ice. And that means the fans are going to have a great time. And that's the best way to come back from this layoff that we've had, is to have a really great product on the ice. And I think Allen's going to be at the top of the heap.
when you look around the league and obviously the North Division's not playing this year, and we're going to find out more on what's going on here in the coming weeks. Schedules will be released. It's going to be very, I can't wait to see where we're going. Right now, we only have the first 10 games, here with 5 and 5. So we're still going to find out somewhere here in the next few weeks what's ahead for the Allen Americans. Kind of bizarre for me this year, not traveling with the team. I'll be broadcasting every game from the Allen Event Center, and I hope to have you with me on a few of these road games, something we've never been able to do. But from what I'm told, we might be doing some road games from the plush new Allen Americans Bang Solar locker room, which wait till you see that. It's completely different from the way it was before. Great job by Mike Waddell and the staff at Bang Solar for putting that together. So should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. New challenge, and not being on the road and watching and calling a game off a monitor, hopefully a big TV monitor. The eyes aren't as great as they were 10 years ago, but it's going to be a new challenge, exciting. And hey, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, it should be fun, and that's one of the things that will be interesting. Will be calling the games remotely like that, because that adds in a whole nother set of challenges that you don't have live. So you're kind of at the mercy of the feed that you're working with. So it's going to be tough on you as the broadcaster to do that and me doing color with you. So it'll be something interesting. But the one thing that I think everyone's going to need to remember this year, players, fans, organizations, everything, is learn from the goaltenders. Be flexible, because things are going to change, and it's going to be an evolving situation. And the league is going to do their best they can to make sure that we have a good quality season this year, and everybody has a safe season as well.
All right. Well, thanks as always for doing this. We do this every Tuesday. Maurice and myself, a lot of times we'll have a guest on. Tonight we're just chit-chatting and getting you ready as training camp began today. And we're only, today is the first of December. So, the 12th is not far away.
11 days.
Quick road trip to Tulsa, and then the home opener. What a big weekend that's going to be. Rapid City will be in town, and everybody's excited about Riley Gill Night coming up on the 19th. Of course, Riley and his family will be there. He will be honored at center ice, and the number 30 will go to the rafters and never to be worn again by an Allen Americans player. We've said that with Gary Steffes, right?
I was going to say we might see Giller out there again, because if he follows Gary Steffes' footsteps.
Yeah. I asked him about that a couple of weeks ago. We were doing an event, Candy Canes for Kids, over in the Village at Fairview. And I said, hey, is there any part of you that wants to just come back one more time? He said, Tommy, I'd love to do that, obviously with my kids. But no, he said, I've moved on from hockey. He's focusing on his new life, which he's in the construction world and doing a great job there. And his two boys are future hockey players. So he's just loving being a dad right now. And that'll be a fun night coming up on the 19th of December.
Well, never say never, because maybe during an alumni game, I'm sure we'll see him out there between the pipes.
I think there's a better chance of you coming out of retirement and officiating an ECHL game. Joe Ernst, if you're listening out there, you never know that your arch enemy might be one of your guys out there sometime in an emergency situation, out of the booth and down to the ice. Mo, as always, thanks for doing this. It was a lot of fun, and we'll chat again next Tuesday.
Sounds good, Tommy.
All right, this has been Around the ECHL, brought to you by True by Hilton.